Lady Anya stared out from her balcony. Rain soaked the city below. Her once vibrant world was now shrouded in grey. Betrayal had shattered her betrothal. Her family name was tarnished by whispered accusations. Despair threatened to consume her. Anya clutched the crumpled letter in her hand. The words promised a chance to mend her broken fate, a chance to change everything. A flicker of defiance stirred within her. Could she dare to believe? Could she reclaim what she had lost? The letter spoke of a weaver, a being of immense power, a being who could respin the threads of destiny. Anya made her choice. She would seek the weaver. The journey was fraught with peril. Anya disguised herself, trading silken gowns for rough-spun wool. She traded her carriage for the company of a weathered map and a stolen horse. Her journey took her through dense forests where gnarled branches clawed at her like skeletal fingers. She crossed treacherous mountain passes, the wind howling like a banshee, echoing her own inner turmoil. She wasn't alone. Whispers followed her, carried on the wind. They spoke of the weaver, of its power and its price. Some whispered of miracles, of shattered lives made whole. Others spoke of despair, of souls ensnared in webs of deceit. Anya pressed on, her resolve hardening with each passing day. Fear was a constant companion, but so was a growing sense of purpose. She had to reach the weaver. She had to believe that somewhere in the tangled threads of fate there was still hope for her. The whispers followed her, sometimes warning, sometimes encouragement. Anya listened, her heart pounding, unsure whether they were guides or harbingers of doom. The weaver's lair was a cavern of wonders and terrors. Cobwebs, spun from moonlight and shadow, draped the vaulted ceilings. Thousands upon thousands of threads, shimmering with an otherworldly light, stretched across the cavern, connecting to an immense loom. Anya had never seen anything so beautiful, so intricate, so terrifying. Seated before this impossible tapestry was a figure cloaked in darkness. Its voice, when it spoke, was like the rustling of ancient parchment, dry and brittle with age. "You seek to alter fate, Lady Anya." Anya stepped forward, her fear giving way to determination. "I do." The figure turned and Anya gasped. The weaver was not what she expected. It was not a wizened crone or a fearsome beast. It was a woman, her face etched with sorrow, her eyes reflecting the weight of countless lifetimes. "Do you know the price of your desire, child?" the weaver asked, her voice a low thrum that resonated deep within Anya's chest. Anya's journey had been long and perilous. She had faced her fears and stared into the abyss of her own despair. She was not unprepared. "I do," Anya replied, her voice trembling slightly. "But I've lost everything, my life, my love, my honor, all stripped away." The weaver nodded slowly, her gaze piercing. "The threads of fate are not easily rewoven, child," the weaver said, her voice echoing in the cavern. "Each change creates a ripple, a consequence that cannot be foreseen." Anya felt a chill crawl down her spine. "I'm willing to pay the price," she said, her voice firm despite her fear. The weaver gestured toward the loom. "Do you see these threads, child? Each one represents a life, a destiny." Anya nodded, her gaze tracing the intricate web of life. "The thread you seek to alter is not yours alone. It is intertwined with others. To change your fate is to change theirs." Anya stared at the loom, its complexity both mesmerizing and terrifying. The threads shimmered and pulsed, a symphony of light and shadow. The weaver's gaze was filled with profound sadness. "The man you were to wed," the weaver said, her voice barely audible. "His life, his happiness is woven into yours. To change your fate is to unravel his." Anya's heart clenched. Could she sacrifice Darius's happiness for her own? Doubt gnawed at Anya. The cavern seemed to close in around her, the shimmering threads a prison of her own making. Her anger, so potent just moments ago, now tasted like ash in her mouth. She had come seeking revenge, but was she willing to become the villain in her own story? The weaver watched Anya with ancient, knowing eyes. There was no judgment in them, only a deep well of sorrow. "Fate is not a straight path, child," the weaver said, her voice soft as the whisper of the wind. "It is a tapestry woven from choices, both light and dark." "But what if I choose wrong?" Anya whispered, her voice raw with emotion. The weaver's response was a question. "Is there a wrong choice, child, when it is made with a pure heart?" Anya looked up, her eyes meeting the weaver's. Was there a pure heart within her, or was it tainted by bitterness and the thirst for revenge? Anya realized that the threads of fate were not just about her life or Darius's. They were about the choices they made, the paths they carved with each decision. The weaver was not offering her a way out, but a mirror, a reflection of her own soul. Memories, vivid and painful, flooded Anya's mind. She saw Darius, his eyes filled with love and laughter. She remembered their whispered promises, their shared dreams of a future woven together. But then came the betrayal, the sharp sting of his lies, the cold realization that everything she believed was a lie. The pain was still there, raw and real. But as Anya looked deeper, she saw something else. She saw the fear in Darius's eyes, the way he flinched when their fathers argued, the burden he carried on his young shoulders. Anya remembered whispered rumors of threats, of her own father's ruthlessness, of the pressure Darius was under to secure the alliance their marriage would bring. The threads of their lives were indeed intertwined, but not just by love. Ambition, pride, and the machinations of others had woven their destinies together, creating a knot of misunderstanding and pain. The weaver watched Anya, her expression unreadable. The cavern was silent save for the soft hum of the loom, the sound a constant reminder of the choice Anya had to make. Anya rose, her legs trembling beneath her. She looked at the loom, its intricate web of light a testament to life's complexities. She could choose how she moved forward. Anya turned to the weaver, her voice firm. "I will not ask you to change my fate," she said. "I will not punish Darius nor erase the past." The weaver nodded, pride in her eyes. "The threads of fate are always in motion, child, but our choices determine their course." Anya knew her journey had not been in vain. She had faced her demons and emerged stronger. Anya turned and walked away from the loom. She didn't know what the future held, but she was no longer afraid. Anya emerged from the cavern, blinking against the sunlight. The world seemed different somehow, brighter, sharper, as if a veil had been lifted. She no longer felt like a girl adrift, but a woman reborn. She had stared into the abyss of her own despair and found the strength to climb back out. Anya didn't return to the life she once knew. She left behind the gilded cage of her former existence and forged her own path. She used her family's wealth to help others, to right wrongs, and to offer a hand to those who had lost their way. The whispers followed her still, but they were different now. They spoke of courage, of compassion, of a young woman who defied fate and found her own destiny. Anya embraced the whispers, for they were the threads of her own making, woven into the tapestry of a life lived on her own terms.